work for the uplifting the humanity. He is a disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Swarupa Damodar Goswami Maharaj, regularly preaching to youth, especially in engineering and corporates in India, Australia, Singapore, Fiji, and the Middle East. He has successfully applied the scientific and management principles to the effective reaching out to the audience, both in incorporate and the universities for the past decades. He had been doing an in depth study of Srimad Bhagavatam and various commentaries on it. So we are very fortunate to have Prabhuji on the call. I would like to hand over the call to you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji, and thank you for inviting me to this forum. So we will chant Radha Madhav, short Radha Madhav, then read the verse, then have the class, and then question answers. Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Giridhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Giridhari Yashodanandana Bhaja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Bhaja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhav ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, The Creation of the Fourth Order, Chapter 28, Puranjan becomes a woman in the next life, verse number 45. Ajanati priyatamam yadoparatam angana Susthirasanam asadhya yatha purvam upacharat. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The daughter of King Vidarbha continued as usual to serve her husband, who was seated in a steady posture, until she could ascertain that he had passed away from the body. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. It appears that the queen did not even talk to her husband while serving. She would simply perform her prescribed duties without talk. Thus she did not stop rendering service until she could ascertain that her husband had passed from the body. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 28, verse number 45, translation. The daughter of King Vidarbha continued as usual to serve her husband, who was seated in a steady posture, until she could ascertain that he had passed away from the body. Hare Krishna. So we are reading this section of Srimad Bhagavatam, wherein Narad Muni is preaching to King Barishat, Prachin Barishat, and King Barishat is a very intelligent soul, but somehow he is engaged into karma kanda activities and performing lots of fire sacrifices and killing animals unnecessarily. So Narad Muni goes to preach to him, and in order to draw his attention towards the spiritual principles, spiritual knowledge, he tells him a fictional story, allegory, basically, which is the story of King Bharishat. In fact, every living entity, each one of us, in a different way. So he tells the story of Puranjan, and we have read that Puranjan is our story, the living entity story, who has died and taken next birth as the queen of King Vidarbha, daughter of King Vidarbha, daughter of King Vidarbha. And she marries the queen, she becomes the queen of Malay Dhwaj, who is a great devotee. So this figuratively represents the daughter of King Vidarbha as the disciple and Malay Dhwaj as the spiritual master. And in the story, it represents the daughter as a wife and Malay Dhwaj as a husband. So in the story, they are husband and wife, Malay Dhwaj and daughter of King Vidarbha. And to explain the particular relationship between spiritual master and disciple, the story of husband and wife is being related by Narad Muni. So Malay Dhwaj, the king, he takes retirement from his active life of a king, and he goes to perform austerities and penances in the forest, very severe. And the wife, she doesn't continues to stay in the luxury of the palace, but she also, as Vanaprasth couple, goes with the husband in the forest and continues to serve the husband while he is engaged in severe austerities. So this indicates that when the spiritual master retires from active preaching or becomes ill during his end of life and goes for exclusive bhajan, then some of the disciples follow the spiritual master to assist him during his end of life. And when Malay Dhwaj is performing his austerities, the queen, she continues to serve him without taking care of her hairs, about her own clothes, her own body, reduces her eating, reduces her sleeping, and without any talk or complaint. When the husband is the king, then the wife is the queen and enjoying the luxury and opulence of the palace. But when the husband is performing austerities, the wife goes with the husband in Vanaprasth and also lives very simply performing austerities. Mother Sita told this to Sri Ram, that if you are the king, I am the queen, but if you are in the forest, I will also stay in the forest. And she went in the forest, walking barefoot and sleeping on grass and among wild animals and eating simple food and wearing simple clothes of an ascetic. So that's how a wife should serve the husband. The husband's vows become wife's vows. If husband is fasting, then wife also fasts. So Malay Dhwaj was performing so severe austerities that for 100 years he sat immovably at one place, absorbed in Vishnu. And for all these years, without talking with the husband, without disturbing his samadhi, she would take care of the body of the husband. And because she neglected her own body, she became less and less attractive. When the retired couple, the wife, doesn't take care of her own body, she is no longer attractive to the husband. And when both of them perform austerities, then automatically they do not have lust or sexual desire. When the wife doesn't take care of the hair and the hair get entangled and dry, then she becomes less and less attractive. The couple's relationship, physical relationship, is only to produce babies, to produce children. But once they are in Vanaprasth, they just perform austerity centered around Krishna. So Malay Dhwaj was performing austerities and the queen was serving him. She also was performing austerities. And at one point, Malay Dhwaj left his body. He died. The soul left the body. But queen continued to take care of the body because she was not sure when the soul left the body. Because there was no talk happening in them between them. So as she was continuing to take care of the body, she realized that the temperature of the body is going down. The hands and legs are becoming cold. And from there she could become certain that her husband has left the body. When the soul leaves the body, the blood circulation stops. The heart stops beating. And when the blood circulation stops, the hand and feet become cold. And that is when there is an indication that the soul has left the body. The temperature of the body and the living symptoms visible in the body are because of the presence of the soul. If the soul is not present in the body, it is dead matter, no use. People just burn it or dispose it or bury it. But when the soul is present in the body, then body is taken care with great effort, and lots of money and energy and efforts are put to take care of the body. But as soon as the soul leaves the body, body is useless. This shows soul is extremely valuable. And today in modern education and modern civilization, there is no concept of the soul. In the schools, the children are not taught about the soul. In the colleges, the children are not taught about the existence of the soul, the need to take care of the soul, the need to connect the soul back to Krishna. That is atheistic education, third class education, only making our children workers or officers to continue to entangle in the cycle of birth and death and then become dogs and cat in next life. There is no use of such education where eventually you are going to just work hard and become animal in next life. The purpose of the human form of life is to come out of this cycle of birth and death, is to get enlivened in our relationship with Krishna, is to break this karma bandhan, this entanglement. So it is very essential to spread this knowledge of Krishna consciousness. That's why Srila Prabhupada created this ISKCON society, and he traveled all over the world preaching and telling everybody to please take this Krishna consciousness movement seriously, to read his books and to become a devotee and to tell others to practice Krishna consciousness. When more and more people take up Krishna consciousness, then the face of this planet will change, then this world will change. Otherwise, this population is going towards sinful activities, sinful habits, and eventually hellish planets. When Srila Prabhupada went to MIT, there he asked a question to all the professors that you have department for so many subject matters, but where is the department which is studying the soul? That is missing. He told the professors and the students the real education is missing. The real education is this, that I am not this body. I am spirit soul. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. I am part and parcel of Krishna. If a boy loves a girl and he wants to marry, and just before marriage, the soul in the girl's body leaves. Now there's a dead body of the girl. Will he go and marry? He will say, no, no, I will not marry. Are, you love this girl, why are you not marrying? No, now I will not marry. This is dead body. Please burn it. How can you burn one whom you love? This shows you didn't love the body. Even though you got attracted to the body, but the actual love is for the soul who left the body. If you love the body, why don't you marry the body? How can you burn somebody whom you love or dispose? So this shows the love is for the soul. But we realize the value of the soul at the time of death, when somebody dies. That is not good way to learn. If the husband dies in the house, then everybody will be crying and the body will be on the bed that my husband passed away, my son passed away, my brother passed away. And you go and say, why are you crying? And the wife says, my husband left me. You say, no, that is not true. Your husband is there on the bed. Everything is there. 2 eyes, 2 ears, 1 nose, 2 hands, 2 legs, kidney, heart. Everything is there. The weight yesterday and the weight today is same. The height yesterday, the height today is same. There is nothing missing. If you say, no, 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 this is not my husband. This is my husband's body. Husband too already left me. So who left you? The soul. She realizes now that this body is not my husband. Whole day I used to call this body as my husband. But today I have realized this body is not my husband. The soul inside is my husband. And he has left me. So we have to take care of the body and we have to take care of the soul. We take care of the body by food, clothes, bathing, sleeping, etc. And we take care of the soul, which is more important and valuable, by Krishna consciousness. Getting up early morning, taking bath, applying tilak, wearing fresh clothes, paying obeisances to the deities and Guru and Srila Prabhupada and Tulsi Maharani, and attending Mangalarti and sing Narsingh Arti and Tulsi Arti and chanting 16 rounds of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then offering flowers to Srila Prabhupada, Shingarati, Guru Puja, Bhagavatham class, and 4 regulative principles, and Ekadashi and other events and festivals, and assisting in the preaching work and preaching and doing service, giving charity. And in that way, we take care of the soul by keeping Krishna in the center. Otherwise, we will lose this human form of life and will again go to animal species. So this is very important to learn. So here, the queen and the wife of Malay Dhwaj, she could realize that my husband is no more, the soul has left the body. Now she is a widow and she is alone in the forest. She develops deep anxiety that my husband is no more with me. Just like a female deer cries when the partner leaves. So she started crying, she started howling, she started shouting, she was lamenting, and tears were flowing from her eyes incessantly and soaking her body and chest. So Srila Prabhupada explained, just like the queen is crying for the husband, just like the wife cries for the husband, in the same way a disciple cries when the spiritual master leaves this planet. So there are two types of service to the spiritual master, Vapu and Vani. When the spiritual master is present, we serve the Vapu, the body of the spiritual master. And the spiritual master leaves, we serve the Vani of the spiritual master, the instructions. So in both the cases, we are connected to the spiritual master, but still there is love and affection, and that cannot be denied. We can't use the philosophy, I am not this body, and become stone. Krishna consciousness is not to make us stone. A devotee is not stone-hearted. He is sensitive. He has feelings. He has sentiments. He has emotions. And he has love and affection for his spiritual master. So when the spiritual master leaves, the disciple cries. Srila Prabhupada, when he left this planet, all Prabhupada disciples, they cried so much. We even today hear about that. There is even a video of Prabhupada's passing away, wherein Prabhupada's body is very weak and the body is lying on the bed and he passes away, and all the disciples there cry, cry, cry. And just by watching that video, we have tears in our eyes. Recently, we had a bad news for ISKCON. His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj left his body, and it was such a big shock to all of us, to all the devotees and to all the disciples of Maharaj. We all were devastated, and such an inauspicious and such a sad situation. We all cried for a few days. We couldn't do anything else. Maharaj is such a great soul, and he was so dear to Srila Prabhupada, and he was such a great Vaishnava leader in the society, and he performed so many services and cared for his disciples and other devotees, had friendly relationships with his godbrothers. And we saw the whole ISKCON mourning and crying. And even now, the situation is not settled for many of us. So when the acharyas disappear, there is natural pain and separation. At the same time, on the spiritual platform, the disciple is always connected to the spiritual master because the Vani is present. The instructions are present. Sorry. The instructions are present. And those instructions are life and soul, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya. Those instructions are life or soul of the disciple. So these instructions are very important. When we continue to follow the instructions, even in the absence of the spiritual master, we remain connected to the spiritual master. And this is how we can be assured that we don't deviate. Otherwise, in the absence of the spiritual master, we may neglect his instructions and deviate from the process of bhakti, and then we will not be successful in Krishna consciousness. So we have to continue to follow the instructions of the spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada always said that I often remember my Guru Maharaj, but I am not disconnected with him. I am connected with him because I am following his instructions. So in the same way, we have to continue following the instructions when the spiritual master departs. The spiritual master departs leaving us in grief, but there is also celebration because he goes back to join Krishna in the spiritual world. So when the pure devotees and acharyas leave, disappear, there are both the things. One is the pain of separation, and one is joy that the acharya has gone back to Krishna, eternal service in the spiritual world. So the disappearance of the acharya is celebrated with feast. Any outsider will say, what kind of society is there where they are having feast because somebody's death anniversary is there? But that is not death, that is disappearance. The soul is not dying. The soul, in fact, is gaining by living this mortal world, by living this world of birth, death, old age, disease, by living this material existence and going back to Krishna and continue to eternally serve Krishna. Like Srila Haridas Thakur, when Srila Haridas Thakur passed away a day before, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Haridas Thakur. And Haridas Thakur was ill. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, what is your sickness? What is the diagnosis? And he told, my sickness is, my illness is that I can't chant my rounds. Haridas Thakur was so ill. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you reduce your rounds now. He was chanting 192 rounds every day. Haridas Thakur touched the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, my dear Lord, I know very soon you are going to wind up your pastimes. And I don't want to see that pastime of you winding up your pastime. So please allow me to leave. And Chaitanya said, without you, how can I leave? And Haridas Thakur said, no, please be merciful. I am a very humble soul. I am a very insignificant soul. What is a great loss if an ant dies? The universe will continue. So you have very exalted associates who are serving you. It will not be a great loss if I leave. So please allow me. And he said, my dear Lord, when I leave my body, I just wish that with my eyes I see your beautiful lotus face, and on my tongue I chant your holy name, and your feet should be on my head. So Haridas Thakur said, whatever Krishna desires will happen. So next day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came with all his associates to the house of Haridas Thakur, and they did very nice kirtan and dancing. And at the end of kirtan, when they sat down with tears of love in his eyes, Haridas Thakur took the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and kept it on his chest. And he was taking the darshan of Lord Chaitanya, and he was loudly chanting Sri Krishna Chaitanya, and that is how he left his body. In the same way as Bhishma Pitama left his body by chanting the glories of Krishna and seeing his beautiful face, taking darshan. So all the devotees, they cried in ecstasy, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu picked up the body of Haridas Thakur in his own arms and started chanting and dancing. And finally he took the body to the ocean and bathed the body and put him in samadhi. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally went to beg food, nice Mahaprasad foodstuffs to distribute. And he told all the shopkeepers, my dear Srila Haridas Thakur has went back home, back to Godhead. I want to give feast to all the Vaishnavas. So please give me bhiksha. So we see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu celebrated the disappearance of Haridas Thakur. And as I said, ordinary people will think, what kind of society is this? They are celebrating with nice sweets and feast the death of their intimate friend. So the acharyas, when they depart, it is both a joyous occasion and a sad occasion. A painful separation, a painful occasion that no longer we will receive his association, a painful situation that no longer people will get benefit by his darshan. But at the same time, a joyous occasion that he's gone back home, back to Godhead to serve Krishna. So it is essential that in physical presence we serve the Vapu, and in the absence we serve the Vani, the instructions, the Shabda, and serving Vani is more important than serving Vapu. Vapu, everybody may not get an opportunity, and it is for some certain temporary period of time. But Vani, everybody in the planet has an opportunity to continue to serve for a longer period of time. Srila Prabhupada's Vani is in his books, and books are the basis. So today, whatever we do in ISKCON is coming from Srila Prabhupada's books. If any two devotees in ISKCON have a difference of opinion, the solution will be in the books. If anybody has a question in Bhakti and the advancement and the process, the solution, the answer is in books. So Srila Prabhupada's Vani is the basis of all activities in ISKCON and in fact the foundation of ISKCON. So every day we should read Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavad Gita, Nectar of Devotion, Krishna book, one of these books we should read every day. Be in touch with Prabhupada's Vani, and that is the foundation of our bhakti. And we should distribute these books to others so that they come in contact with Prabhupada's instructions and Prabhupada's Vani. And in that way, they will get benefit. So Prabhupada used to say, what is the use of your 3-hour lecture? Just give them my book in 3 minutes and they will get all the knowledge. Whenever they want, they can refer. A lecture is also inspiring. At the same time, people may forget it. But when they take a book, whenever they can pick it up and read it. Direct Prabhupada's words. And that will inspire them to practice bhakti and continue to maintain their bhakti. So Vani is considered very important. Obedience to the spiritual master's instruction is the life and soul of the disciple. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya. Srila Vishwanath Thakur says, Ke Guru Nandana. One-pointed, resolute, determined focus on the instructions of the spiritual master. When the spiritual master gives instruction, the disciple should follow it as it is. And 100% he will get success in spiritual life. Success in spiritual life is when the disciple pleases the spiritual master. And pleasing the spiritual master means obeying his instructions, obeying his Vani. So all the members of ISKCON should very properly understand the Vani of Srila Prabhupada, who is preeminent Shiksha Guru of all of us. And of course, the Vani of the Diksha Guru, the spiritual master who initiates. So here the queen is crying because she is feeling separation. We have another example of Prithu Maharaj and Mother Archi. Even Prithu Maharaj, when he was a king, Mother Archi as a queen sat side by side on the throne. And finally, when Prithu Maharaj retired and went to the forest to perform austerities, Queen Archi also went with her husband performing austerities. And when Prithu Maharaj left his body, Queen Archi cried. And all the demigods and apsaras and devis, they showered flowers. But she cried. Prithu Maharaj went back home, back to Godhead. And after that, she also left her body. And she also went back home, back to Godhead, to her husband. So there are examples, queens going to the forest with their husband and husband leaving their bodies and the queens crying and becoming sati and going back to the destination as their husband has received. So here, same thing has happened. Malay Dhwaja has left his body. But when a devotee leaves his body, we should not think it is ordinary death. Like a cat has rat in the mouth. And the cat also has baby kitten in the mouth. From external viewpoint, the rat and the kitten are in same condition. Both are in the mouth of the cat. But there's a very big difference. When the rat is in the mouth of the cat, there is danger, there is fear about death. The rat is in anxiety. And when the kitten is in the mouth of the cat, she is receiving love and care. In the same way, for ordinary people, death means fear and anxiety and pain. But for devotees, death means Krishna is personally coming to take the devotee to home, back to Godhead. So when the devotees leave, they leave doesn't mean they are in pain. They leave to go back to Krishna. And in fact, even they leave, they set an example for the future generation to perform devotional service. So even when they leave, actually, they don't die. They continue to preach. When Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written a very nice stanza on the disappearance of Sri Haridas Thakur. He had written a big poem. I'll read 4 lines which are very famous. He writes, he reasons ill who says that Vaishnavas die when thou still living in sound. The Vaishnavas die to live, and living try to spend the holy name around. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying that he reasons ill who says that Vaishnavas die. Anybody who says this Vaishnava has died, that is wrong. That is wrong mentality. That is wrong reasoning. That is wrong way to speak. That is improper. Because Vaishnavas always live in sound. They live in their Vani. One reporter asked Srila Prabhupada that after your death, who will take care of this movement? And what did Prabhupada reply? He said, I will never die. Any person will think illogical. How can he speak like this? I will never die. Prabhupada said, I will never die. I will always live in my books. And today Prabhupada is accessible to us in his books. Even today we can access him in his books. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, when thou are still living in sound, Vaishnavas are living in sound. They are living in their Vani. Rupa Goswami living in his book. Jiva Goswami living in his book. Sukadeva Goswami living in his Bhagavatham. The Vaishnavas die to live. That means even if they leave the body, they are continuing to live. And living, try to spread the holy name around. And when they are living, they are trying to spread the holy name around. Both is happening. So that's from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and this verse is applicable to him also. And so nice that today is the appearance day of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is called the 7th Goswami after the 6 Goswamis in Vrindavan. Srila Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Gopal Bhatt Goswami. 6 Goswamis is called the 7th Goswami and is considered father of modern Hare Krishna movement. He was a very intelligent magistrate of the Orisha court. And when he got inspired by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy, he wanted to read Chaitanya Charitamrita, but he searched all over, but he didn't got a copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita. With great difficulty he got. So he himself find out all the literatures and translated them and published them so that people get access to these books. And he wrote many books, more than 100 books. And he was the person in 1896 sent one English book on Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life and teaching to USA. The same time when Srila Prabhupada appeared, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada appeared. And he started this revolution of printing books, and he told his son, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur, to carry it forward. In fact, when he saw so much preaching is required and alone he is not able to do, he prayed to Lord Jagannath of Vishnu who will help him to preach, and that was Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur predicted that one day in Mayapur, all the Europeans and all the Americans and all the Britons and all the people with their Indian brothers will loudly chant the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jai Sachinandan, Jai Nityananda, Jai Sachinandan. And today Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, has fulfilled this prophecy of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Today so many disciples from international destinations come to Mayapur Dham and chant and glorify Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is the one who predicted about the temple of Vedic planetarium, and today that is being constructed. So ISKCON is in forefront fulfilling the prediction and prophecy of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Prabhupada is such a dear representative of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And the very interesting story where there was some yogi Bisak Sen who used to claim himself as Mahavishnu. And in the name of claiming himself Mahavishnu, he gathered lots of followers because he had some yogic siddhis. And he started amassing wealth and followers and claiming that I will give freedom to the country of Bharat, India from British rule. And some kings, etc. would follow him. Some villagers would follow him. And once he told the villagers and rich men that you send your wives, I'm going to do Ras Leela. And he actually had illicit connection with them, and they got very upset and they complained to the government. And the governor told Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Kedarnath Datta to take care of the situation. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur went and met this Pisak Sen, who was a yogi and who had siddhis. And he was sitting in jungle with his followers. And his two assistants, claiming themselves to be Brahma and Shiva, were with him. In front of everybody, he put his head inside the fire. And after some time, he removed the head and nothing happened to him. And he would cure the diseases of people and know what is going on in their mind, because he had yogic siddhi, so people were getting attracted. So when Bhaktivinoda Thakur came there with his people, this Bisaksen immediately identified his name and he said, I know who are you and I know why you have come. And I tell you, give up your mission. I know you are a very good Hindu person and I will soon rebel against the government and drive away the British and make you governor of Orissa. You just cooperate. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, if you are God, why are you staying here in the jungle? There is Jagannath Mandir in Puri. Why don't you stay there? That is your own temple. That's Jagannath temple. He said, oh, that is not God. That is wood. I am the real God. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, this is offense. He's calling Jagannath a wood rather than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he did further investigation and then he arrested him. Very great difficulty, he arrested him. All the police were very afraid to arrest him because when they went to arrest him, fire started coming out of his hairs. And he threatened them that if you arrest me, then you will all die. But Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur knew that he is offender and he's a deviator and he's cheating the people and having illicit connection with women around. So he arrested him and put him in the jail with lots of constables guarding him. And then the court, there was a trial in the court. There was a lawyer from the side of Bisaksen by his disciples. And he stayed for many months in the jail with no food, no eating, no sleeping, no drinking. And still his body was not weak because he was a yogi, he could maintain that. After a few days of trial, when he was about to win the case, Bhaktivinoda Thakur Bisaksen told him, go in the house and see what is happening. And there his young daughter had very heavy fever and that was not coming down. Whole night there was fever. Finally in the morning it came down. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur's wife told Bhaktivinoda Thakur that better you free Bisaksen, otherwise he will kill us. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, let all of us die, let all my children die, no problem. But this offender should be punished. So again the trial continued and Bisaksen again threatened that Kedarnath Datta, that was Bhaktivinoda Thakur's name, you leave me, otherwise there will be very big danger in your house. Already you saw one sample. And that night, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he went to the house, he had a very severe chest pain. Whole night the pain kept on increasing. And even morning the pain hardly reduced. He had to go in the palanquin to the court. But still he went, and in that pain, he gave the judgment that this person should be given rigorous imprisonment for certain years. And all the followers were shouting, it's injustice, it's injustice. And when the constables were taking Bisakse, and there was one Briton, Walter, somewhere he had read the yogi's power is in Shikha. So he took a scissor and cut his Shikha. As soon as Shikha was cut, he fell down unconscious and very weak because he had not eaten since many days. He was taken on a stretcher with 4 people. When all the followers and disciples saw their God is being taken on a stretcher and is weak without eating, they all went away, understanding he is a cheater. So like this, there were many deviant sampradayas which Bhaktivinoda Thakur find out and punished them, and he wrote them in books. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us a pure philosophy, but these people are deviating and following some nonsense philosophy and giving them to people. So we should be very careful to have pure sampradaya and following the teachings of pure sampradaya. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur finally retired and he took samadhi by chanting the holy names of Krishna. So today is his appearance day. We are very fortunate to be in a sampradaya where such great acharyas have been there giving us the teachings and we are connected to them. So today we should pray to him that, my dear Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, please bless me so that I become steady in my devotional service. I develop taste in the holy name. I eternally remember the lotus feet of Krishna. I have association of pure devotees and I practice pure devotional service. And in that way, by the blessings of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, by the blessings of Acharyas, we can receive Krishna prema. Success in spiritual life is not by our hard work or our ideas or talent. It is by the blessings of the great devotees, the blessings of the spiritual master, the senior devotees, the sadhus, the acharyas. So we seek their blessings very humbly and then we can advance in our devotional service. Okay, we will end here. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur appearance day ki jai. Hare Krishna. If there are any questions, you may please ask.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Very wonderful class and nectarian class, Prabhuji. I request all the devotees, if anybody have any questions, you can please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavas, all glory to Srila Prabhupada. This is Ram Tirthadas.
Hare Krishna, Ram Tirth Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, very, very nice class, Prabhu. Thank you so much for the wonderful class this morning. Prabhu, one philosophical question about when spiritual master leaves the body or any of our dear ones leave the body, it is natural, for devotees to lament and cry. But Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, Krishna says in the 2.13 that, a sober person never laments because soul is just changing the body at that point. So how do we reconcile and understand this?
Yeah, so Krishna spoke this Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna and he spoke these words to Arjuna. And after a few days, Abhimanyu died.
Right.
Arjuna's son died. And Arjuna cried. So this verse is not telling us to be stone. This verse is telling us that when there's a change, it will happen. We have to tolerate that change. We should not get disturbed. That means we should continue performing our duties. So after Abhimanyu died, Arjuna cried, but next day he was ready for the battle and he performed his duty of a Kshatriya to fight the Dharam Yudh. So when spiritual master or our devotees or near or dear ones die, definitely there will be some pain, and that is normal, that is nothing wrong, but we continue performing our duties and over time that pain will also reduce. So we understand that we have lost the association of this near and dear one, but that near and dear one is still present in some other body. And I can still give benefit to that near and dear one by continuing to perform devotional service in the name of that near and dear one. Giving charity, feeding cows, feeding sadhus in the name of a dear and one who has died. We can still give that facility of devotional blessings. So we continue doing that. Is that okay, Ramtit Prabhu?
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, so basically the purport of that verse when it says that one should not lament, it simply means that we should not forget to do our duties. We continue to do our duties, but it's natural for us to feel sad and cry. That's
Yes.
all. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Next, any more questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very beautiful class.
Thank you. Okay, if there are no questions, we will end.
Yes. How many verses you covered, Prabhuji?
I covered
Up to
one
47, right? Because
45,
I saw,
46, 47 I covered, yeah.
yeah, because I saw the verse, like translation. You covered. Yeah. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. Prabhuji.
up to 40, 45, 46, 47 I covered.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you
Hare
very
Krishna.
much, Prabhuji, for your very enlightening class today, and we are grateful for you. And we look forward for your association, Prabhuji. If nobody have any questions or enlightenments, we can end the call here.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Let's pay our obeisances to Prabhuji and all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarupyasya kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Granted Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare
His
Krishna.
Grace Gokuleshwar
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji ki
Prabhu. Thank
jai.
you.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhu.
Thank you
Krishna.
so much,
Thank you.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the class.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Vinod. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Pranam. Hare Krishna.